Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Meat City Gaming. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Kicking Aces in World of Tanks. This is a standard battle on mines. It is a Tier 2 maximum battle, and I am in my Pz.Kpfw 38H, also known as the MicroMaus. This is a Tier 2 German premium tank. It's available with a disc purchase copy of the Xbox 360 version of the game, and it's also come up a couple times to be won for some in-game missions at the end of a long mission chain. A couple months back, if you completed it, you were given this tank for free as a reward, and that's how I picked it up. So I recently unlocked my Tier 9 German tank destroyer, the Waffenträger Panzerfear, and moved my Borsig crew into it and realized that I didn't overtrain it, and so it's not at 100%. So I figured before I jumped into my first battle in my shiny new Tier 9 tank destroyer, I would pop my crew into my nice premium German light tank here down at Tier 2 and train up the experience to try and get it to 100%. And this was my first game in a long time. I played this tank a little bit when I got it, but hadn't touched it in probably a month or two. So we're on mines, Tier 2 maximum battle, and that's a great setup for the MicroMaus, which another nickname for this tank because of its armor profile. There is 40 millimeters of armor all around the tank, and so if you angle it appropriately at a nice diamond-shaped pattern, there are not a lot of guns at Tier 2 that can get through you. Now, unfortunately, what I'm shooting at right now, the Panzerjäger 1, is one of those tanks that can do so, that can penetrate you with its premium rounds. The standard rounds on it only do about 40 penetration, so if you're angled, you're okay, but they do have premium rounds with over 70 millimeters of penetration, so they are a priority on the battlefield. You can see we're doing some nice work here. Thankfully, the light tanks on my team were able to rush the hill and prevent the enemy from taking it. They got killed themselves, but the enemy tanks were not able to get up here and take it as well, and that's great. That means I don't have to worry about two angles of fire, so I can angle my armor appropriately to the front to deal with all these threats in front of me, and I'm up to 4 kills, and there's 5 kills. Just mowing through the enemy, deflecting all kinds of damage off of the significant armor profile of the tank, and we have cleaned up front here. We're going to do a little poke around the corner here. This is an M2 light tank, not much of a threat to us, and there we go, we penetrate through him as well. So even the MicroMaus itself would have trouble penetrating itself if you meet one on the opposite team. The standard rounds have an average penetration of about 40 millimeters, which again is the thickness of the armor. So if it's angled at all appropriately, you're not going to get through with the standard rounds. There are premium rounds for this tank, APCR rounds, and they do have a nice 70 plus millimeters of penetration, so you can always, I'm sorry, maybe it's closer to 65 or 70, but you can switch to those and you will have some success in getting through the tank if you need to. So if you're in one of these and run up against one, if you're carrying some premium, you'll be okay. So make a decision here. The enemy is in the cap, and we're at a low tier battle. We have the numbers here, it's 13-9, but I am in a slower tank. That's one of the weaknesses of the MicroMaus, is its top speed is not great. It's about 22 on flat terrain on hard surfaces, and less than that, of course, if you're on soft terrain or if you're going up hills. So the enemy was capping, and you can see they're more than halfway capped, and no one else on my team seems really interested in getting back here to defend. This is a Tier 2 battle. You got to assume when you're down here that the players on your team aren't going to have a complete grasp of the concepts of the game, that if somebody's back here, we need to get back and interrupt it quickly, or we're going to lose. So I take it upon myself to come back, and it was another one of those Panzerjäger 1s, which can be dangerous, but thankfully I was able to spot him, get the target on him quickly, aim in, and eliminate him with one shot from my premium rounds there to knock him out of the game. And now it's just clean up. There is just a single enemy left, and it's artillery, and we've got 7 kills, but I would love to go for 8. So accuracy on this gun at long range is not great, but there are 2 beautiful shots, and one more. Wow, how did that miss? That was perfect. That seemed to track right towards him, and it did not go in. And so there's my 3rd miss. Now he starts moving, of course. Oh, we fire on the move, but gave him too much lead, and then one of my teammates ninjas the last kill. No fault to him. He was just doing what he had to do, and I had more than enough chances with those 4 shots to secure that last kill for my 8th of the game. But we'll have to settle with 7 kills, 630 damage, 21 penetrating shots, almost 400 blocked damage, and there it is, the Ace Tanker badge, always the one you want in these games, along with a slew of other medals. Cool-headed, Top Gun, Bruiser, a number of other ones there, and that was my first mastery badge in the MicroMaus, and again the first game I've played in this tank in quite a long time. So that was a nice result, a surprising result. We'll take a real quick look at the first the damage list here, just to see what kind of tanks we were dealing with and what kind of damage we did to them, and then we'll jump into the detailed statistics here. You can see 31 shots fired, 25 hits. So the accuracy was really good, and again we were at brawling range, so we weren't expecting to miss many shots. 4 of the misses were all on that last artillery, and 21 penetration. So the penetration on the gun held up pretty well there as well. 1100 base XP, 7 kills, 630 damage, and there it is. That's an ace tanker in the nice MicroMaus down here at tier 2, and a great game to train up my new tier 9 German tank destroyer crew. Thanks for joining me, guys.